I am Sato, the creator of Sato-style Lymphatic Care. I would give you a complete explanation of Sato-style Lymphatic Care. It might show cosmetic surgery. This one video, if you watch it, you will understand why Sato Lymph Care is. Are there any big changes happening across the country? And what are the theories behind why they're happening? The body is really simple. Then add strong force, or rather, the basic structure of the body. Just by following this and touching like your body will begin to change. It's a simple and easy story. There are some difficult parts though. I would like to explain it. There are a lot of stories that make people think, did she have plastic surgery? Her nose is now more straight. She's become more beautiful. Did you have a good diet? The appearance really changes. It really becomes brighter. This might sound a bit spiritual, but my life has opened up, has gradually melted away, and my heart has become more spacious. There are so many people who feel like this. The business was going. It seems like the relationship between the couple has become more common for men to have them. Overall, I think a lot of things will happen. Dieting is one example. There are many people who lose weight on their own without dieting, and many people who are able without dieting or exercising. I guess you could call it a figure improvement. It's quite common for a person's weight to stay the same, but their waist gets slimmer, their bust gets bigger, or their legs. Both beauty and health can only be achieved through self-care. Yes, this is in the form of improved circulation. In fact, to improve circulation massage, there are cases where circulation improves temporarily. The idea is to make sure the circulation itself is good. So rather than doing something intentionally, let's just feel the flow. It looks something like this. The Sato method does not involve pushing, kneading, or pulling. Push or pull. It's not kneading, pushing, or pulling. It's just a light touch. Just touching and the earlobes brings about changes that don't happen in hospitals or at cosmetic surgery, and I think it's miraculous. Why does this happen? I think it will be more effective if you understand a bit of the theory behind it. I'll explain it in an easy-to-understand video. Is this really the same as what they say in the 30,000 yen DVD materials? If you understand what they're saying, it will be more effective. I think it will be extremely valuable if you watch it together with the video. I have a lot of photos of their legs amputated, so I hope you'll take a look. I think there is an important concept of ordinary space when it comes to understanding the Sato-shiki. But modern women are collapse of this cavity the root cause of all this? By cavity, I mean the oral cavity from the nose to the throat. This is called the nasal cavity and pharyngeal cavity. Actually, the cavities on the neck and mouth side. All of these are called the oral cavity, which is the thoracic cavity from the chest to the diaphragm, and then from the diaphragm to the pelvic floor muscles. The abdominal cavity extends down to the pelvis, and we feel like we are inside that container. What's in it? I guess you could say it's got a soul in it. We are the vessel, instead of trying to do something about the vessel. We should fix the vessel itself. That's the way we think. Here's an empty plastic bottle. If it was a bottle, it would be an empty bottle. A cavity is a state where there is a vessel in this shell state, and it is not an empty state, but a state where there is a container. For example, and the heart is beating. If this cavity collapses, this paka inside will be less likely to move and spread. Also, something heavy is falling from above. My head is really heavy. It's like we're not going to be able to support anymore. It looks really bad and spreads out. The space becomes narrower, but the fat inside, the stomach does not become narrower, so the volume decreases and the stomach becomes protruding. That's quite common. But if you open this up, you can open it up like this. You're breathing in and out. That's why, as you do this, it starts to spread out. Touch it lightly here and do it a few times. It's not like it puffs up. Just breathe and support it will gradually spread. This will make you much stronger and your waist will already be thinner. When your waist or belly bulges out, the space in your body is compressed. If this part and this part are compressed, only this part will bulge out. This is skin, and the stomach is made of skin, so if the upper and lower pelvis is open and this area narrows, the middle part will naturally stick out. So even if you try to flatten, the flesh here will not go away. I think that unless I physically lose this fat, I won't be able to improve my figure. However, if you open the lid and spread it out, the space will become larger, expanding and arranging the space in your body. Sato-style lymphatic contract and muscle contract. When something gets tired, the muscle contracts. When it twists, the air inside, it doesn't shrink evenly. It's not like that in a drum or any tightly. The body becomes distorted. Even if you straighten it out, it won't solve the problem. Even if you try to straighten it out, it will end up getting even. It's the same with straw. If you bend the straw tightly with your finger, even if you try to straighten it, it will still bend. And if you try to straighten it, it will bend even more. If you make the space inside into a circle, it will stand upright and will not go back to its original shape, and the inside will start to flow. We originally evolved from columns which are similar to earthworms. The body expands like this, creating a cavity in the body. So, if there is a cavity, it will be easier for food to go in, and to go in and out, easier for air. The blood in the heart in the middle also gets easier to flow, so the circulation gets better and better. So, getting closer to the natural state is like having truly beautiful circulating all the time. When that happens, it becomes a disease, or something goes wrong. So, let's improve that cycle. Our care involves making sure that the space in your lungs expands and contracts, your heart expands and contracts, and your muscles expand and contract. But teacher, the space has collapsed. As we get older, our facial lines that were once beautiful become like this. Things like jawlines come out, right? That's a given. But the muscles that connect the cheekbones to the jaw are called the muscles of masseter. I'm a dentist, and when these muscles contract tightly and the mouth collapses, it causes temporomandibular joint disorders, and I'm putting so much force into it that my face gets crushed. It becomes flat. The cheekbones become prominent, and the jawline becomes prominent. If this and this expand, and this expands, and you don't have to pull it back at all, this part swells up a little, and when people say it swells up, it makes their face bigger. No, it's thinner horizontally and more compact vertically. It looks like Thai, sea green, and everyone else says Japanese people are said to be a flat-faced people and are squashed flat. The crushed area sticks out from here, creating a double chin. If the sky expands, this place will be cool. The dent here on my chin gets hollowed out and my face looks slimmer. It becomes very thin. I think it's easier to understand. There are two paper cups, so they look like twins. If you think of this as normal, then this is what it means. When it collapses, the sky collapses. Which face is which one is wider? If you look at it, you can see that this one is narrower, this one gets wider. The inside will get wider, and the flow will get better. It becomes air to flow through here. And not only that, but also for bodily fluids, the internal organs are crushed, and the flow is poor. Here, the flow is already slow, and when you crush it from above, it becomes clear. If you apply too much force from above, this bar will be crushed. If you put a little pressure on it like this, it will collapse. But if you put pressure on it, it won't collapse at all. This is it. 1 6-liter cup can hold 3 2-liter plastic bottles. Place a bore in place, but I definitely won't. Space is a very powerful thing. In fact, the human body is not just blood vessels, lymph nodes, airways, alveoli, or muscle pathways. So if you imagine there are a bunch of tubes running vertically, it's really like rolling up
筒が縦に入ってると思っていただくと、
A piece of
段ボール
cardboard.
のように段ボールくるくると丸めたみたいに
We
めちゃく
propose
ちゃ
that
強くなって、実は
the
骨で
body
支え
becomes
てるんじゃなく
incredibly
て、
strong and is
But
not
by these
supported by
spaces 体
bones.
っていうのは支えられてるっていうのが我々の提唱になります。
The human body
口の中ってこう空洞になって、
has an oral cavity. The inside of the mouth is hollow. And there's a cavity in the neck. There is
こ
flesh.
こまでも肉でこう首があって肉があって、
So there is the thoracic cavity, and then inside.
中は肺があって空間になってて、
And then there is the lungs, where the organs are. And then there is the abdominal
ところ
cavity.
があるという形で、
Here, there is a membrane of muscles
舌骨筋とかっていう筋
called the diaphragm and mylohyoid muscle. This is the spinal bone.
骨ですね。
This part is made of bone. This part is made of bone.
ここは骨でできてっていう、
And this part is made of bone, so they are similar. The oral cavity from here to here. This is the thoracic
この真ん
cavity.
中に心臓があって、周りが空気が入ってる。空気が入ってる。で、ここ
With the
は
heart in the
臓器が
middle
入ってる。
and air all around it. This
And
one
the
also
organs
has
inside.
organs, a tongue.
で、真ん中にベロがあって、
In the middle
周り
and
に
air.
空気が入ってるっていう。
Around the same cavity.
筋肉と空間、筋肉と
Muscle and space. And here, the organs are surrounded by the
後ろが
spine.
背骨、後ろが背骨、骨で囲まれてる。これは
This is surrounded by bone,
下
and
は筋
then
肉で囲まれてる。
muscle
囲
underneath,
まれてるっていう、この
which is surrounded
空で構成されて
by
る。
muscle. The same goes for stuffed toys that look Coca-Cola bottles. Stuffed toys stand up because of the stuffing inside, so we make tubes with our bodies and muscles. Just like stuffed animals make tubes and stand up, we have to get rid of the idea that we stand on our spines. These pliable blocks with cartilage piled up, which is not, like the Chinese bend and flex. This is not enough to support me. However, it is possible for this to become a tube when supported by muscles. This is also the case. There is a spine here, and these muscles support this spine. It looks like it's okay for people to stand on it. It's soft and can shrink and expand, just like the heart. The cavities in the lungs expand and contract, and the cells called muscles also expand and contract. We all think of muscles as things that stretch and contract. It expands and contracts like bread. Basically, if you stretch the dough, it will shrink sideways, actually made of some kind of liquid. And the idea is that it expands and contracts, and then expands and contracts again, creating a structure. It's called lymphatic care, isn't it? I think many people know that. Lymph nodes are very important. Lymph doesn't flow, but if there is space, it will flow. Another important thing from the blood vessels in the form of interstitial fluid, only water and white blood cells, or white blood cells to be precise, bodily fluids flow. Roughly from the capillary, 90% of the body fluid that flows out returns to the capillaries. However, white blood cells and platelets, which have large molecular weights, so solid matter, once it leaves the blood vessels, is never collected by the blood vessels. It comes out of the capillaries at a place called lymphatic capillaries and is collected by the lymphatic capillaries. Where are these lymphatic capillaries? They are located inside the skin. The drain is in the skin. So, it has to flow from the blood vessels to the lymph drain, and then be collected from the lymph capillary. There is a lid on it like a toilet. It's like the lid on a bathtub. When you flush the toilet, it flushes, and when you pull the plug, it flushes too. You have to open the lid, and to do that, you have to gently pull it from the side. Open it, so you gently cover it. The skin. People tend to think that lymph is not something but that if everyone does this, everyone is flushing lymph. I'm still letting it flow, but this movement doesn't actually flush the toilet. It's just like pulling the faucet. In terms of the bathtub, it's like pulling the plug on the bathtub, and the water just flows out. If pressure is applied, the water will flow outwards. The lid of the entrance to this lymphatic vessel, so if pressure is applied from the outside, so will never pushing lymph. So this opens up, and the flow goes like this. This is what causes lymph flow. Depending on that,
becomes a solid.
Various waste products, white blood cells, and waste products captured by white blood cells flow into the lymphatic vessel. In the bloodstream alone, waste products dissolve in water, but they become uric acid or carbon dioxide. Water-soluble waste products are collected through the blood vessels, but other solid wastes are. As for things that don't dissolve in water, things like fat, viruses, or white blood cells definitely get into the lymphatic system. It's only recovered from the skin, so our lymphatic care helps keep it flowing. This means that the lymph nodes are not pushed out at all. True lymphatic drainage means opening the lymphatic vessel so that the lymph is not flushed away. That is also a very gentle and gentle medical technique. For some reason, I just assume there are many people in the medical field who are pushing it away. And to speak of the original meaning of our lymphatic care, lymphatic drainage, it is very close to the original meaning of lymphatic drainage. Not only that, but when we move our muscles, for example, the lid opens up when the muscles move. And by repeatedly stroking the area, the lymph flows more smoothly. By moving not only the muscles, but also the joints. When muscles press on this joint, the lymphatic vessels and lymph nodes in the joint act as points, opening and closing to fluid. So that part is also being done. In other general lymphatic systems, the movement of fluid is only temporary. When you press your muscles tightly, the fluid enters your blood vessels. The solid matter in between never flows into the lymphatic system. When you release it, water will come out of the blood vessels to dilute the viscous lymph. The movement of water takes an extremely short time. The swelling went away immediately with that massage. Swelling goes back to normal in an instant. It's the solid part of the water between the skin. It's a sticky solid part of the water. What we want most is not water. The original idea is to wash away the dirt from the muddy parts. You can safely assume that the dirt will never wash away, even if you apply pressure from the outside. First, open the lid so that the dirt can flow out. Then, if you move it around and stir it a little, it will flow out smoothly. Those who don't do it are already covered in garbage. They're all tired. My skin color is also dull. We actually care. I'll also post a photo of the feet. But the color is clearly different between those who had it done. If the waste products are removed, the color will naturally become brighter. So, by doing this, you can properly carry out the Sato-style lymphatic care. It's like water in the body. If it is always kept clean, your metabolism will also increase. You will be less likely to get sick or catch a cold. Well, that kind of skin quality is one thing. First of all, what is lymph? Well, lymphocytes and immunity are controlled by lymph. So naturally, the immune system improves. Instead of just delivering nutrients and oxygen to the cells, everything becomes a garbage dump. You don't get sick because your blood flow is poor. You get sick because your home is full of garbage. Because of poor circulation, the bad air makes everyone feel strange. So it's the same in sewers. The flow is poor, so it becomes a sewer. If the flow is good and clear water is flowing steadily, so rats and maggots don't breed there. So it's really important that the water flows smoothly. And if any extra force is applied, that can hinder that or put pressure on the water that's circulating. That can hinder it even more. By taking good care of your body, you can purify the water in your body and properly organize the space in your body. This is what Sato-style lymphatic care does. It's rare for ordinary people to have the opportunity to talk in detail. This is actually the thing I want you to know the most. Why does just stroking or rolling your earlobes like this make such a difference? The theory behind it is actually very important. Also, if I continue to talk about this, first of all, it comes by gently stroking the vagus nerve, blood vessels and lymphatic vessels. The nerves are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. So the vagus nerve becomes more active. The reason we start from the earlobe is because there is a branch of the vagus nerve in the ear, and touching that area activates the sympathetic nerve that relaxes. So just touching the ear can relax a person, can really provide lymphatic care. Thank you for watching up to this point. So, what is the specific effective care? I think a lot of people are a bit worried about that. Could you please tell me? The basic method of the basic lymphatic care is to use your thumb to press on the acupressure point behind your ear called ifu. I think it's good to recognize this again and again. However, when you raise your hand, it is quite heavy. Just a light touch behind the ears makes it feel so much lighter. So if you think you don't understand this, if you remove it, it will become heavy again. But if you do it, become lighter again. Put your ear to the part that says "if" and touch it. Now, hold the very edge of the front part. Bring your elbows forward and spin around. If you rotate this elbow, it's like touching this and rotating it like this. Instead of touching this area and twisting the ear tab around. When you rotate your elbow, your ears will move on their own. If it's not even that bad, everyone starts doing this. No, it's fine if it just shakes a little bit here, spinning around from further away. When you do this, the vibrations will be transmitted more to the inside, so it's better to do it with a weak stimulation. This is the muscle called the lateral pterygoid muscle. This is what I've always called the sphenoid bone. It really is connected to the very bottom bone of the skull, the brain. It's a muscle, so just twist it around. Turn it around, turn it around. When you rotate forward, the muscle contracts. But when you rotate back, the muscle expands. So you rotate backward. I stroked her cheeks lightly with it. This was as weak as possible. So weak that it was impossible to say it was under 5 grams. With that strength, I will do it 4 times. Also, go around your earlobe and in front of your jaw, and then go horizontally. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2. Repeat this 3 times, which makes your earlobes. Roll your earlobes. Roll your jaw forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Roll your earlobes with it. Swish your cheeks 4 times. Rotate your lower jaw, then move it to the side 4 times in your mouth. The area around my face has loosened up quite a bit. If you look at my arm from the side, it goes like this: squeak, squeak, back, back, beep, beep. At this time, everyone tends to do this, but they try to pull the muscles in their back like this. No, the muscles in the front are like this. Squeeze as if spreading it out. It's the pectoral muscles. I just want to shake them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will make it. That alone will warm your body up nice and warm. I feel like I'm getting warm. So by feeling it, even easier to open up that lymphatic system. And then the same thing happens again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swish, swish, swish 4 times, and then twist your ears. Open your lower jaw forward 1234, then sideways 1234, and then move it forward. This time it's a backseat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you feel tired, you're putting in a bit of force, so it feels nice and comfortable. It's really important to relax your body. While doing this, cheeks 4 times. Twist your ears. 1234 in front of the lower jaw. 1234 to the side. 2, open your mouth wide. 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, like carrying a Japanese Mikoshi. 567 septillion 822 sextillion 345 quintillion 678 quadrillion 324 trillion 567. When I do this and that, my body feels so much lighter. 45,678. This is how lymph flows. Once you get used to it, I can already feel the lymph flowing down to my feet. And the lymph flows through the surface of my skin. This is the subclavian lymph node, located below the collarbone. The large lymphatic vessels that enter the heart are rotated and stimulated, which helps lymph flow to the legs as well. But just this makes my whole body warm. It's so warm. Also, when you feel warm, the lymph nodes on the surface of your body flow quickly, so you may feel cold. Sometimes the core of your body feels warm, but the surface feels a little cold. I guess you might not feel like you have to do it that much. Many people who have good circulation may not notice it. That's just one of the things I do. It's a great benchmark, so it might be a good idea to aim for it. This is really the key to good health. If your body can get lymph flowing properly, since the cells have nutrients. It really is the life force itself.
そうなんですよ。
No, even in the comments. There are people who say that when they did it on the left side, both of their legs shook. There are some people who are very sensitive to this, so the lymph from both legs goes into that lymphatic duct on the left, and the lymph from this arm goes into the lymphatic duct on the right. This is where the lymphatic ducts are located, so you're actually pumping it. Yes, it's true, but there's no other way to do it. With just your hand, and make the essential parts of your health healthy, so it would be even better. If someone who does it in a video could understand the theory. Furthermore, if you do it on your face, like this, on the jawline, the corners of the jawline will. If you don't know what it is, ask them to touch the bone vertically. Is this the apex where you touch the side? So if you follow this and this, you will end up here. Just touch here, pip pip, here, the tip of the gills, pip pip, here. This will lift the corners of your mouth and make it easier to lift your hands up. You can also feel the position of the gills by touching them. The difference between the left and right sides is reflected in the inside. This muscle will relax and move inwards, changing the width of your face. The position of the spine also comes into play, so the width also changes. So this most protruding part here is going to be rounded off. This really rugged face gradually becomes like this. So I'm going to do this. From top to bottom, from cheeks to jaw, from corners of mouth to jaw. Everyone is trying to give it to me like this, carrying it from the side. It looks like this, and I'll do the swishing. I think it feels like things have really improved. Repeat this about 3 times. From temple to jaw, from cheek to jaw, from corner of mouth to jaw. Like this, start stroking your neck from the tip of your chin. The length of your neck will change, so it will look like this. It has changed to this kind of feeling, and when I say knee, the corners of my mouth tend to turn up, and I end up looking like I'm in a downward position, which is called super lift up. I'll fix this for you. He said, and then he stopped, beep. If you push it from the bottom up, it will be stretched, and the other side will be squishy. In this position, look up. And feel your deep breathing muscles relax. You can feel the puff, puff sound. So if you let go of this, it will go up like this. The touch is also perfect. This one feels squishy. The position of the cheekbones and the position of the eyebrows is different too. The position of the corners of the eyes, the position of the cheekbones, etc. People say, you're just tilting your head this way, aren't you? My head tilts to one side here. When that part loosens, this part shrinks and the 2 parts that were pulling each other loosen up and end up on this side. If you are conscious of this, it will become normal. So even if I adjust it myself, the position of the corners of my mouth, my cheekbone, are already lower. If you keep doing this, you'll catch up in no time. It's more effective to do it later. I'll be peeping at the gills. This is really just touching the corners of the jaw here. If you can do the basic arm, rotation and earlobe, anything else will do. Just touching it is totally okay. Everyone is actually going up here, so they're only conscious of this. Just by touching the steps of this, the score improves. So if you have free time, you can touch it like this. Just petting, just petting. It doesn't matter if it's appropriate anymore. This one is stroking me. The sphere is fluffy and you can see it as a whole. If you stroke a rugby ball like this, and you try to lift it like this, your muscles will contract. These people are actually already beautifully returning the crushed ball of a face to a beautiful sphere again. Put this back and stroke it like this. You want to make the skin on your face taut. So if you stretch it like this, it will be taut. Yes, you should stretch it out like a bed sheet. So this is where we put our jaws up like this. Then it will go in like a rugby ball. In this state, you can scrunch it like this, that. From my cheekbones like a rugby ball. This and this are pasted like this, right? You understand. If you stick it down instead of up like this, it will be stretched. So if you stretch it out like this, haven't you already overtaken us? This one is better. If you overtake and slowly move away, it's better to do it later so that it will come out better. So now both are lighter. This is the complete version. No, it's been pretty good so far.
かなりね
It's hard work.
なんですけども、
Well, if you do this and do it with that feeling in mind.
やっていただくとすごくいいので。
But those who have watched the video, I guess even at an aesthetic salon, things don't change. At the beauty salon too. I don't think there are many beauty salons other than
あまり
Sato-style.
ないと思います。
I think you will feel it right away.
これも
This will also bear fruit. Once I competed against a German machine worth 10 million yen. If I say, I do this kind of work, then you say, let's have a contest, and if I lose, will you buy this machine for me? I said, I'll give you 10 million yen. If I had done it in my major, there would have been no one to do it. It's obviously much better than the 10 million machine.
1000万の機械よりも本当に明らかに上がります。
I looked into it and it was up.
僕調べて。で向こうも本当
But
にや
they
らな
didn't
かった
actually do it. So I guess they thought they'd lost a bit. The tone of it had toned down, so that's a true story.
それ実話でございます。
I think there's nothing better than being able to do it
そう
yourself.
ですね。
I know I say it myself, but I think it's great.
思います。
Yes, it really has made me more beautiful and healthy. It seems like everyone's mentality has changed drastically.
そうですね。
When the body becomes warm and soft, the heart is always a sensation of the internal
内臓の
organs.
感覚なんですね。この内臓の感覚が
When the sensation of the internal organs becomes soft,
溶けてきますので。
warm and light, the heart melts and the chest expands. This expands the chest cavity, making breathing easier. Your heart rate will improve, and you can really feel it in your body. It's really important to have a good mental state. How did you like today's video? If you thought today's video was good, the like button, and then, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And then, regarding that comment, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to write to me in the comment section. I will try to reply as much as possible.
よろしくお願いいたします。